And are you committed to making sure that the troops stay until every American who wants to be out is out?
Yes. And if there are if there's American citizens left, we're going to stay till we get them all out.
I think it's irresponsible to say Americans are stranded. They are not.
They are not.
90% of Americans in Afghanistan who wanted to leave were able to leave.
Wait a minute. What? What's going on, America? I'm Graham Allen, and welcome to the newest episode of Real America.
That's what I'm talking about.
As you know, we were absent last week to show reverence to the 13 service members who lost their lives. But today we have a lot of hypocrisy, incompetence, and downright lies that we must talk about and we must expose.
Shame. Shame, shame, shame!
On a completely different but unrelated note, really quick, let's hear a big shout out for Texas.
Don't mess with Texas.
That has taken another step in protecting our unborn by passing their heartbeat bill that protects and makes abortion illegal after 6 weeks and a heartbeat is protected. However, there are some people in the world, hello Eric Swalwell, that has a problem with not wanting to kill babies.
Something is wrong with you!
The same people that have a problem with protecting the unborn children, claiming my body, my choice, are ironically the same people that are wanting to force vaccinations on Americans. All right, everybody knows the horrors that occurred in Afghanistan. Everybody knows the absolute abysmal failure that is this administration, that is Joe Biden, that is Kamala Harris, that is General Milley, that is Secretary Austin and Blinken.
Did you say Abe Lincoln? No, I say Abe Lincoln. I said, hey, Blinken.
But the biggest thing that happened, the most devastating thing that happened was the loss of life for our 13 service members, of which that witch Pelosi did not allow the reading of their names because she just hates people. So we're going to take a few seconds of silence here at Real America, and we're going to show you a picture and name of every single service member that paid the ultimate price. All right, it is official that the end of the war, the longest war in American history in Afghanistan, is officially over. Although Joe Biden was quick to withdraw, he was late to address the nation on this extraordinary feat that he has accomplished. You would think that the president would address this on the actual day that we do, but no, he wanted to do it the next day. It was supposed to be at 1:30, then 2:30, then 3:45, then it turned into, hey, we'll call you when he wakes up.
Come on, man.
The tone of his message was a bit peculiar. It was almost as though he was yelling at Americans.
Come on, man. Give me a little break here.
Some things point out, though, that render a couple questions. This one in particular, where he says that the whole thing was a massive success.
No nation has ever done anything like it in all of history. Only the United States had the capacity and the will and the ability to do it, and we did it today. The extraordinary success of this mission.
Does this look like a major success to you? Another thing that he did was this. There was a point that he actually blamed Americans for being trapped in Taliban and ISIS-controlled Afghanistan. That's right, the President of the United States is blaming Americans.
We reached out 19 times to Americans in Afghanistan with multiple warnings. Now we believe that about 100 to 200 Americans remain in Afghanistan with some intention to leave.
We went from no man left behind to it's your fault really, really quick. Speaking of no man left behind, Joe Biden said in an interview not too long ago this.
So Americans should understand that troops might have to be there beyond August 31st.
No, Americans should understand that we're going to try to get it done before August 31st.
But if we don't, the troops will stay.
If we don't, we'll determine at the time who's left.
And
And if there's American citizens left, we're going to stay till we get them all out.
However, in just the speech he gave the other day, that's turned into this.
Bottom line, 90% of Americans in Afghanistan who wanted to leave were able to leave.
In case you're any good at math, that means 1 out of every 10 Americans that wanted to get out of Afghanistan didn't. That doesn't seem like a big success to me. Now the biggest controversy of all. When our 13 fallen service members were brought back home in the dignified transfer, videos and pictures started popping up all over Twitter, Instagram, wherever, showing the President of the United States almost seeming like he had somewhere better to be during this very sacred time. Now, we were very slow to show these things because sometimes things can be taken out of proportion and sometimes things can be this and that and blah, 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 blah. But then reports on Sean Hannity of the actual family members started coming out saying things like this.
They would release the salute and he'd look down at his watch on every last one, all 13.
So now that we know that this is going on, we thought it might be a good time to help inform you of a couple things. 3 good times not to check your watch. At a memorial service as the president for fallen service members. At a memorial service while you're president for fallen service members. Oh, and while you're at a memorial service as president for fallen service members.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Of course, here comes Jen Psaki, Peppermint Patty, Raggedy Ann to the rescue. She can spin things better than nobody's business. She was asked about this very thing and listen to her very intelligent and honest answer.
Was the president looking at his watch, and does he have a message to those people who felt that they were offended?
Well, I would say his message to all of the family members who were there, those who were not even in attendance, is that he is grateful to their sons and daughters, the sacrifice they made to the country, that he knows firsthand what it's like to lose a child, and the fact that no one can tell you anything or say anything, or there's no words that are going to fill that hole that is left by that.
That's right. If you're thinking to yourself, she didn't say anything about the question that was asked her in general, we saw the same thing, because that seems to be the only thing that she's good at, beating around the bush and circling back.
At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought.
At the end of the day, any real American knows that the travesty that has happened in Afghanistan, the loss of life that has happened in Afghanistan, is 100% the fault of the Biden administration. It is 100% the fault of our senior leaders in the military, our intelligence community, basically everybody who had a hand in doing this. It is 100% your fault. And it's nice to know that the president took that responsibility seriously by saying this.
I am President of the United States of America, and the buck stops with me. When I came into office, I inherited a deal that President Trump negotiated with the Taliban.
Oh, my bad. Actually, he blamed Trump for all the problems, and Donald Trump's been out of office for 8 months. But what do I know?
And it would not have happened if I were your president.
At the end of the day, the best way for me to sum up Joe Biden is to simply do this. Joe Biden has a tendency to turn his back on Americans when America needs him most. He has decimated and desecrated the sacred alliance and the sacred moral values that we hold as Americans, that we will never leave a man behind. As Americans, we will never be able to say that again. And what does Joe Biden have to do when asked about this very important question? He does what he does best, and he turns his back on Americans.
All brave Americans serving in harm's way.
That's all we have for this episode of Real America. We hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to follow us on Facebook and YouTube. And as always, I'm Graham Allen. For those who can't, I'll say it for you. What's up, guys? Graham Allen here. If you liked the video you just watched, be sure to subscribe to the official Turning Point USA channel to keep up with everything we've got going on now.